Let's move on to our NFL picks, and we'll start off with the Thursday night game, which is Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And in this one, I know there's going to be a lot of emotion for Baltimore, but I got to go with Pittsburgh in this one. I just don't see the Ravens without Ray Rice being able to do anything.
If there's ever any indication that the NFL is the cruelest of sports, is to have the Ravens have to play Thursday night after the big Ray Rice debacle. Who are they going to have suit up at running back? Like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, Chuck Foreman, I heard, the bus, Jerome Bettis has come, Emmitt Smith, they're all lining up. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh.
I got to take Pittsburgh. All jokes aside, the running game really showed me something in week 1, and I think that's going to be the difference. The Steelers will have the advantage.
Well, the Steelers, they really struggled defensively last week. Even though they got the win, they got up to the big lead, and then Cleveland, of all teams, was able to move the football on them and run the ball on them. So I think Baltimore, no matter who they throw back there, is probably going to have a little bit of success. This is not a Steelers defense that we've seen in the past. However, with the problems in Baltimore, you would think that there's enough distractions at such a short week that they're going to have struggles. So I'll take Pittsburgh.
Last week, Joe Flacco threw it 65 times and didn't look very good. Granted, it was against the Bengals, but still, after what happened to Baltimore this week, I don't know how I could pick them. And also, who's the running back now in Baltimore? Bernard Pierce. He stinks. Give me Pittsburgh.
All right. By the way, I think I have to throw a penalty flag, a false start on myself on this one, because I didn't talk about last week's standings. It was a 3-way tie between myself
talk about
and
that.
Pat and Paul, 4-1.
Oh.
Jeff was 3-2. It looked like he was going to be 4-1 until the Chargers imploded.
They
Ty,
broke that down.
unfortunately, 1-4.
I have this, though.
All
Sorry.
right, but we can redeem ourselves this week, and now we'll go with the Vikings and the Patriots. I love the Vikings, you know that, but this one I have to go with the Patriots. I just have to.
I don't believe it.
Wow.
My bride is a Massachusetts lass, and so she's a Red Sox and Patriot fan, which means I watch Red Sox and Patriots a lot. I saw 3 of their preseason games, and then we are switching back and forth on HBC between the two. Tom Brady does not like to get rushed, and his offensive line is horrible. They traded away their best offensive lineman. The Vikings have a great rushing team right now. I'm calling the Vikings an upset. However, I have to be careful about excessive celebration.
Yes.
I got to disagree, and obviously picked against the Vikings. Was wrong last week. I think Darrelle Revis is going to have a good game. We talked about Belichick taking away the strengths of that team. They're going to make somebody besides Peterson and Patterson beat them. I think Brady will be able to outscore the Vikings in a 27-24 game.
I don't think Revis really comes into that much of a factor because I don't think he's going to follow Patterson all over the field, especially when Patterson lines up in the backfield and they move him around. So I don't think Revis is going to have as big a deal in this game. I really wanted to pick the Vikings in this one because New England really struggled to stop the run in their first game. However, since 2003, Bill Belichick is 28-4 coming off a loss, so I'll take the New England Patriots.
Okay.
I was going to use that stat until you used it, but yeah, Vikings facing their first real test, and the Patriots, as Paul said, yeah, they don't lose 2 in a row. And I know it's a new year and it's different and things change, but they still got Tom Brady and they still got some good weapons on offense, and their defense, it can improve after last week, but I'll take the Patriots in a close game.
Something we didn't mention is normally the Vikings have the home field advantage of being in the dome. They're playing outside where they've struggled in the past. Now, this might be a different team under Mike Zimmer, but we don't know how well they're going to play outside.
This is great. This is where I take the lead. I'm the only guy that went for the Vikings. It's awesome.
There you go.
Hey, there was only one person who picked the Packers last week, too.
I'm not worried about that.
And I don't know what's wrong with me this week, but I'm going to have to go with Green Bay over the Jets, too. I've never been a Jets fan, and I got to think that Green Bay rebounds after that horrible loss to Seattle.
Even I have to pick Green Bay in this game.
Yeah, Green Bay, no doubt.
Green Bay and around.
I kind of want to pick the Jets, but I'm not going to do it. Give me Green Bay.
All right. Let's move then to Sunday night, and it's Chicago at San Francisco. And after what we saw with Chicago against the Bills, I got to go with San Francisco.
I think the Chicago fans have to be on suicide watch to have the Buffalo, Bills come into your home, stadium and whoop you in overtime. I'm going against the Bears.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a little bit in the preseason hype. Everybody seemed to be on the Chicago bandwagon, seeming to be a little letdown year for the 49ers. Give me the Bears. I think they go on the road.
Everybody being you, I think, Ty.
Well, I'm sticking to my guns then. Give me Chicago 31-28.
He's also buying into the preseason that San Francisco's offense struggled because they didn't do very well, but obviously they played well in the first game because they were playing the Dallas Cowboys defense. I'm not sure the Bears defense is that much better from what we saw against Buffalo, so I'll take San Francisco.
If this game was in Chicago, I would take the Bears, but it's not, and I don't. It's going to be tough to see the Bears go against that San Fran D and the Bears defense go against that San Francisco O. So give me San Fran.
All right, and then our last game, which is the Monday night game, Indianapolis hosting Philadelphia. I'm going to go with the Colts on this one.
I have Andrew Luck as my fantasy quarterback, and I'm going Colts all the way.
Oh, it's going to be Philly. This is going to be a shootout and an absolute joy to watch. But the Eagles, 45-41.
Yeah, this was a struggle for me, but Indianapolis, this seems to play well in prime time. They did get blown out early against Denver, but came back, really made it a game late. And Andrew Luck, it's hard to bet against that guy because he always comes through in the clutch, even though obviously he didn't in the end against Denver. But I'll take Indianapolis.
In Chip Kelly's tenure in Philly, he hasn't really. They won 10 games last year, but they haven't really beat anybody elite. I wouldn't say Indy's elite, but they're better than anybody in the NFC East, and they probably will be the best quarterback they're going to see for a while. So give me Indy.
All right, and Patrick, you have the last minute of the show.
Okay, so this is all fun and games and bragging rights, but if you want to win $114 of my money, check out the Winona Post prediction contest and pick the winners of the next NFL game, and also check out my thought-provoking and interesting article, Roadkill.
Very good. All right, thank you for joining us on the Sports Buzz this week. Join us next week here on HBC TV 25.